Call the meeting to order.
Mr. Colombo?
Present.
Mr. Garrett?
Present.
Mr. Nagito?
Present.
Mr. Quinn? Mrs. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Sanchez?
Here.
Mr. Singh? Mr. White? Mrs. Zonderelli?
Present.
Please stand for the flag, please.
Without the flag there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, don't worry.
Okay. Adequate notice of the meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. I turn it over to the superintendent.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Just going to go over a couple of things that I've had the pleasure of attending. First of all, last Monday, Mr. Weinberg had the STEM Festival and the Community Partnership Festival out on the field. All our sixth graders came over. So we had a good time with that. Good relations with the elementary children and moving ahead. Very pleasant. Back on May 31st, if you remember, back on May 10th when I was doing the recognition, two of our board members received awards as certified board members. So the official presentation was made by school boards again on May 31st. And again, Dave Garrett and Angela Robinson both received nice plaques, and it was a wonderful night out. So congratulations to both of you again. And then I had the pleasure of attending the valedictorian breakfast last week, where David Gill is our valedictorian, and we had a very pleasant ceremony and breakfast that day. So lots of good things going on. I'm going to give a full report on the college acceptance on Wednesday at a regular board meeting. I'll give you the final numbers that we have, and we look forward to seeing that, and of course getting ready for graduation. So that's about it.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, moving on to agenda items. Starting with student services, if you would look please at numbers 1 through number 3. Are there any questions? Nothing. I will move on. B for curriculum instruction and technology program. Also numbers 1 through 3. No questions? Then I will move to C, business and the board. Number 1, and within number 1, please look at numbers 1 through 11. ID numbers 1 through 11. Questions. I will move then to numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Through the chair. On number 2, trip ID number 272. This trip already happened, correct?
Yes.
So how is this trip put before us to vote on after it happened, when we were told to start with it wasn't going to happen?
Well, it's part of the curriculum for the school year, so we had to move ahead with that. But the other pieces that I found out that the actual date for the trip was already pre-booked last school year.
Okay, so then why isn't it on the agenda prior to the trip
That I cannot
versus
answer honestly.
afterwards? Because what's the point of voting on it? What if we did not want to approve this trip.
I agree that we were, at a situation where the buses were ready, the students were there, and that's when we found out that it was booked sometime during last year, I guess, the last one.
Okay, and my second concern with this particular trip, and it's also, I brought it up with softball, and I'm gonna throw cheerleading in there. We approved 7 chaperones to go on a cheerleading trip with 13 girls. We approved 2 male coaches to go on an all-girls softball trip with 31 girls. Now you want us to approve 1 teacher with 19 kids of both sexes. What if something happened and that teacher has to leave? Who is chaperoning those other 18 kids?
In this particular case, I believe there are other chaperones at the location, but we should have, you're absolutely right, we should have at least one of each.
Tell me
Male,
every
female.
answer, I'm gonna come back.
That's fine, no, we should have,
So the chaperones there, our chaperones have to be fingerprinted and background checks. Who are these people at these locations? We don't know. We're not approving them.
So we will have due diligence moving forward. You know, the situation with the softball, you attended the same meetings I did back when we were doing that with the clubs and the parents. And they said that this was something we're doing all the time, every year, and everyone accepted it at that time, and that's how that one went ahead. Are we overloaded on the cheerleaders? A little bit, yes.
Again, the point with the softball, I have no problems with
No,
it.
and
It's very well run. It's just how do you send 2 male
no, you
coaches
can't.
with
You
31
can't.
girls?
And I'm one of the people that has brought that up numerous times as well. So that's, you know, moving forward, that has to be stipulation, because if somebody gets sick, boy gets sick in the boys' room, I totally understand. So that's something that we really need to tighten up. Okay? So I understand your frustration.
And I mean, that was all part of that meeting that we sat at for 4 hours, but nobody's enforcing it.
Okay.
And it's frustrating.
I hear you. And, you know, it's unfortunate with this trip in particular is the fact that, you know, Mr. Karate or myself even knew that the buses were supposed to be there at that time, and it led to a lot of frustration. I can tell you the same angst that you have now was shared by the 2 of us. So,
You look at it as frustration, I look at it as trying to hide something. Sorry.
no,
And
thank you. Moving ahead. Anything else? Any other questions? Moving now from number 6 through 12. No questions? And I will move through numbers 13 through 19.
through the chair, 19, are all of these boosted clubs going to be given a copy of the policy prior
Yeah.
to the school year?
Yes, and I think Ray and I also spoke about the part of getting back to some of these people, about the financial aspect of some of the things we spoke about. And also what I'm requesting for next year, and I spoke to Ray about, is that at the beginning of the school year, I think that the heads of the associations, all these associations as well as advisors for different clubs, Ray should have a little bit of input with them just to give them clarification on some of the financial aspects of the expectations and what's supposed to be a timely manner if you're holding money and so on and so forth. So that is something that we are looking at.
Wonderful.
It's time for that. All right, no other questions? Moving on, we're going to do 20 through 29. You should have received an email as well as the updated agenda. Number 28 through 29 are new. That's it. Yes, sir.
Through the chair. On 23, I have no
Right now, it's just the bus driver.
Yes, most of
It's up to the board. We reviewed it with the Buildings and Grounds Committee. It's up to the board if they want to charge for some kind of mileage rate. That's fine.
Through the chair.
I think it's a great idea having work in town. It's going for the kids. You know, the town and the school board have been working together on a lot of issues. This is just one of them. You know, they are going to reimburse us for the bus driver. I think it's a great idea. For the record, I will not be at the next meeting. Also through the chair, on 21, Ray, if you could just elaborate to the board and the public a little more on that.
Okay, this is the energy savings plan with Johnson Controls. We're getting closer to having a final product. In fact, I have it in front of me here. We're going out for financing. And the second piece, number 22, is solar. So I've talked about this at many meetings because there is a long process to get this thing going. But just to highlight it, again, if we're going to start with solar first because they need to get the size of the system to see what the savings is going to be, and that'll go into the calculations of how many other projects we can do. I mean, some of the other projects besides the solar, we'll be updating a lot of the HVAC controls, wall lighting, interior and exterior going to LED lights. We'll replace a lot of motors, fix ventilation in certain areas like the gym here. Add a lot of plug controls where it'll monitor the on and off times of the computers and smartboard projectors. Change a lot of HVAC, the unit ventilators in each classroom. We'll replace a lot of those to make them more efficient. We also have an educational academy that can be used with the curriculum. And we're going to have a cogeneration unit here in one of our boiler rooms that'll generate its own power and can be used as a backup for the school. So it's a long list of items that need to get corrected and more energy efficient, things that we can't really fit in a budget right now. And it's a net effect, I think I've said this before, a net effect on the budget where we'll propose there'll be a reduction in our utility line for gas and electric, and we'll set that cost. So you're bringing down one line and you're going to add another line in there for a payment on, if it's a lease payment, so the net effect of the budget is zero. So they make it neutral over 15 to 18 years. So it's a good program. So I'm glad it's moving forward. It's been a long time. I think I probably started this 2 years ago. But it's a process that the state set up, and it's a lengthy one. But we're getting close to starting to see some results. They'll go out for solar probably in the summer. They'll come back to the board with a proposal. The board would have to approve that. Then we could start seeing lighting. Maybe get started sometime in the fall between the school year, and then most of the other projects won't get started until next summer.
Any other questions of those numbers? Okay, we're going to move on to policy. Second reading, will be the second reading. For numbers 1 through 34.
This item's on vacation endorsement, the policy meeting. Are all of these changes Strauss Esme, or did we incorporate any?
Basically, they're all from Strauss Esme. Some of them go back to around this time last year with the statement of assurance. So some of them are from them. The other one came out in February that we're still addressing. And the latest one came out May 17th, I think. So we're trying to keep up with it. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, committee reports. Go with buildings and grounds. Mr. DiGio.
Buildings and grounds, okay. Just a couple highlights here. We met on June 5th, 7 o'clock. So to the referendum, along school windows, they have been completed. Security cameras, still working on some issues. The project's winding down. We're almost done with that. We're also going to be working on a wireless door access system as well. High school auditorium. Working on a couple punch list items. It's still ongoing. Theater lighting to begin in the summer to get the theater lights in. They are working on an estimate for renovations to the entrance of the auditorium to, jazz it up and cover up that old brick. Bathrooms. A couple issues where the bathrooms were updated, where the doors that were installed, they're having some issues with them, so we're having a contractor replace all the doors there that they're having issues with. Capital reserve projects, communication, as Ray talked about, communication upgrades, that work will begin in the summer. We're moving forward on the interior door replacements. Doors should be installed by late summer. Franklin School bathrooms, tile abatement, the week of June 26th, and the contractor will begin the bathrooms. That particular project is going to create new faculty bathrooms on the second floor. It's also going to create a small separate office off the area off the hallway. And they're going to renovate the principal's bathroom, which I've done a long time. Also, Ray talked about already the energy savings program. Lead water, they're all clear except for one fountain at Smith School and the sink at the high school. So they're currently making the adjustments and they're going to retest for that. And that's basically all highlights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nagino. Ms. Zattarelli, correct?
I'll do it because I was there.
That's I'm sorry.
On June 5th, the curriculum committee met with the supervisors, and we're going to be launching a new report card for the district, and it'll be based on standards as opposed to the kind of report cards we have now. We have some high school elective courses that we're looking at. New curriculum is being written over the summer, and due to the STEM initiative, we're going to have more electives, and also math will be updated in the summer, the changing of the standards. And that's, I think, what I got. Yeah, the new report card, I think Mr. Ashika is going to talk about it at the next meeting, or this one?
I'll just give you a brief standards-based. It's for the elementary school. So with readers, writers workshop, things are done throughout the course of the year, but it's all standards-based, so that 3 times a year coincides with the way the standards are set up. So that doesn't mean that parents will not have any other communication about how their child is doing, but it's just better in alignment with that. And there will be a formal information going out to parents and as well as staff to let them know what's happening. Staff has been involved at the elementary level and some of the administrators in the whole process. So we're moving ahead with that, and as I said, we will be receiving more information. Last email I saw, I'm not sure, but I think they were getting up the actual brochure with the information this week. So it should be out there.
Thank you. Okay, negotiations.
We met with the administrators and the paras, and we have other dates set. We're moving right along. Hopefully we can all be happy.
Thank you, Ms. Satterwhite. And I think we touched on everything else. Okay, correspondence. Okay, old business. New business.
Chair. This came up today on Facebook, and I just want to clarify. Do we have a policy to give the children who take buses water?
There is no policy that says we give water to students on a school bus.
Thank you.
Absolutely no policy.
Thank you. I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Motion? Okay, residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of this meeting exceeds 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5-minute durations. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that all members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of others and individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments, and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments.
Donna Ferraro. My daytime address is 36 Cambridge Avenue. My home address is 34 Roosevelt Street, Nutley. I am a member of the Saddlebrook Education Association. The SBEA has decided to let our Board of Ed and our community know that our members give back to the Saddlebrook community. Some of us live and work here, and some of us work here, like myself, but consider Saddlebrook our community. As you are aware, we have monthly dress down days, and the money is collected and then given to a charity of our choice. During the month of May, we gave to the Saddlebrook Challenger League money, and another collection was made through Franklin School for the Karen Kenny Memorial Fund. The SBEA purchased the brick as well as all the school's faculty. Also in May, Smith School faculty ran the talent show, in which the proceeds of $3,200 was given to 2 Smith School families who lost their home in a fire. Our goal is just to let the community know that the teachers love the community and we give back to our community. So we're going to be here basically from September to June and let you know how we give back to the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much for our.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Anyone else to hear? Like to close the meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, to recess and close executive session to discuss personnel, HIV investigations, contract negotiations, and matters covered by attorney-client privilege per NJSA 10-46 Open Public Meetings Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action may be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Thank you so much. Have a good night.